The bustling ITV studio in London crackles with that quintessentially British morning energy on a drizzly October Wednesday in 2025, the sun struggling to pierce the Thames fog as the Lorraine set, adorned with its signature floral backdrops and steaming mugs of builder's tea, prepares for a guest that's guaranteed to brew a storm. Meghan Markle, the 44-year-old Duchess of Sussex, poised in a chic camel coat dress that nods to her Montecito minimalism, her signature waves framing a face that's navigated more scrutiny than a state opening. Host Lorraine Kelly, the 66-year-old Scottish powerhouse in a vibrant teal blouse that matches her no-nonsense spark, bounds out with her trademark warmth. The audience, a mix of loyal locals and tabloid tourists waving Lorraine's legends placards, erupting in cheers as she belts a quick, "Good morning, darlings." Meghan glides in next, enveloped in Lorraine's famously firm hug, the pair trading air kisses before settling into the plush interview nook, mugs clinking like old chums. She's here to launch her bold new Archwell endeavor, Voices Unbound, a digital platform fusing podcasts, AR experiences, and community forums for global women's storytelling, inspired by her own silenced seasons in the spotlight. Lorraine kicks off with her affable ease. "Meghan, from Suits star to Sussex sovereign, now this. You're unstoppable. Spill on how Harry's holding the fort while you conquer the chat." Laughter ripples as Meghan dives into domestic delights. Archie, 6, his newfound love for Scottish Kayleys after a Highland fling with Daddy. Lilibet, 4, her wee artist, tantrums over finger paints that rival Monet's muddles. The flow's flawless for 12 minutes. Clips cascade of Meghan moderating virtual vigils with Afghan activists, her voiceover vowing, "Unbound voices build unbreakable worlds." Lorraine nods vigorously. "As a grand myself, I get the juggle. How do ye keep the crown jewels shiny amid the chaos?" Meghan chuckles about jam jars gone global via American Riviera Orchard, Lorraine quipping on her own baking blunders. "Burnt scones are my specialty." It's a transatlantic tea party, the crowd cooing in collective camaraderie, until Lorraine, ever the straight-talking Scot with a reporter's nose for news, leans forward, her eyes twinkling with that interviewer's incision honed over 30 years of morning mayhem. "Right, love, this platform's pure gold, empowering the everyday extraordinary. But let's know, beat about the bush, the headlines howl your hawking royal remnants, from Spare's scorched pages to this app airing ancestral angst while King Charlie battles the Big C and Will shoulders the Windsor weight alone. Is Voices Unbound just another unbound grudge, or have ye finally furled the family flag?" The studio's bonhomie evaporates like evaporating espresso, a palpable pause punctuates the air, audience antennae twitching as Meghan's grin glitches, her fingers furling around her mug's handle in a micro-gesture of mounting metal. She exhales evenly, riposte refined yet resolute. "Lorraine, unbound isn't unbridled, it's unburdened. I've unshackled stories the system stifled, including mine, to spare my sprogs the same shackles." Spare wasn't grudge, it was grace note, for the voiceless veiled by velvet ropes. Critique from Cozy Croft's easy, "I've shouldered the spotlight's shards." Lorraine, unyielding as a Highland gale, volleys with a wry wag of her finger, grace note. "Och, it was a grenade, Meghan, grenading Grand's legacy for Netflix nickels while we watch the firm fracture." Unbound voices, "Aye, but yours echo endless exile, time tae tie the tongue on the tiara tails, or is the vendetta vocation?" Murmurs metastasize, the floor manager fidgets, a producer's headset hums faintly. Meghan's gaze hardens to Highland frost, tone tempering to tempered thunder. "Vendetta. Try valor, Lorraine, valor against veiled vitriol that vilified my very breath. Ye jest from jovial jamboree, I've jousted with jackals that jeopardized my joes." This platform persists for the powerless, no, punchlines. The parry escalates, Lorraine lobbing, leaked lashing, lore on Meghan's, monarch meddling, Meghan mustering miscarriages of justice in media maelstroms that midwifed her mission. The audience atomizes, half huzzahing her heroism, half hissing the histrionics. Meghan materializes momentum, ascending with aristocratic aplomb. "Lorraine, lights lit the lure, I've voiced enough for one vista. Team, ta muchly for the terrace, telly fans, dive into Unbound for the unvarnished." She unclips her lavalier with lithe legerdemain, pivots on patent pumps, and parades off-set, her procession parting the production like plaid-clad Moses, security shadowing her swift sortie as Lorraine, left lingering mid-lilt, laments to lens with a laugh. "Well, that's the kettle callin', stay tuned, troops." Feeds flee to fillers, backstage bustle bordering on bedlam, headsets herding harried handlers, while Meghan's motorcade motors her to a Mayfair muse, Harry's hotline humming, Megs, ye were a lioness, lasso o love awaitin'. X ignites in incendiary ignition, hashtag Lorraine kicks Meghan trends transatlantic in ticks, pilfered punter pics propelling to 25 million metrics, memes marrying her march to Rule Britannia, remixed with bagpipes. Royal Ragers roar, Piers Morgan postures, Kelly's kilted knockout on the Ken Speckle. Via his podcast Podium, Omid Scobie scorches, Scottish shade ambush, hashtag Duchess dignified. Lorraine live tweets Lifeline, fiery filly, that won, fair play, but facts first. This dust up, no, naff natter, it's a north of the border nuclear, where a presenter's pith pierces a princess's panoply, plotting morning telly's most mesmerizing mutiny. As Albion's arches awaken, one ordinance orates, when Meghan meets Lorraine, kicks Erin AFF, their AFF kilter, kindling kingdom's kiln. As gloaming gilds the gherkin in Glasgow gold, the Kelly-Meghan kerfuffle on Lorraine burgeons into a broadcast bushfire, blistering billboards from Broadcasting House to Beverly Hills, where viral vignettes vivisect the verbal vivacity, spawning schisms that splinter socials and synapses in a spectacle spanning siesta to supper. ITV's inner sanctum seethes with strategic scrimmage, dailies dissected for damage diagnostics, Lorraine lounging with a latte in her tartan, replaying the riposte with a roguish rumble, the lassie's got lungs, but legacies linger, served it straight, say TAE speak. The sequel segment surges with seasoned savvy, Lorraine leading the levy, troops, Meghan's moxie's magnetic, my nudge was naff, but nuance nourishes the narrative. The panel pivots, guest Gabby Logan lauding her, lion-hearted launch, but Lorraine locks the lore, unbound. Brilliant, but baggage burdens the bard, no, nay shade, all salute TAE the spirit. The unfiltered uproar unleashes Unbound via Bleacher broadcasts, 100 million metrics by Moontide, TikTok taunting Meghan's mic miss at 13:27 synced to Scotland the Brave, bagpipe blasts, X's hashtag Kelly Kens Meghan netting 5.7 million missives morphing her mug to Macbeth mid-monologue. Meghan's mid-Atlantic on a citation shadow, swaddled in stratosphere solace, broadcasts a Buckingham bulletin that's bomb and broadside, cheers TAE Lorraine's lively lens, her Highland heat honed the horizon, but voices voyage victorious. Women's whispers win wings, no, waits. Platform pings plummet then Phoenix 750%, acolytes archiving archives in ardent alliance, Harry hailing her helipad with a husky, my unbound, my unbreakable, kilt ye nay. Palace, percolations prickle, the Herald headlines, Duchess ditched Dune Sooth. Up north Charlie's Chamberlain's chortling, chuffed chagrin, or, endless encore, Will's whisperers weaving, wearied o' the waltz, but wickedly warranted. Late night laureates lunge, Graham Norton notches a royal reel remix, with Lorraine as Loch Nessie, quipping, Meghan scarpered swifter than Selkie, Lorraine's the real Highland fling, as James Corden counters with crown-clashing caber tosses. Lorraine's legacy leaps 55%, overlords orbiting, morning melees, modules, while Archwell architects, voices versus vendettas, a gratis glen for grappling grudges, transfiguring taunt TAE talisman. Kelly's cadre counters with kinship, post-tape telegrams, her, slice the saga, Duchess, sorry for the sting, sequel spar. Her, appreciated the authenticity, Lorraine, let's unbound amicably next. Ripples ravage realms. Advocacy alliances applaud the awareness avalanche for silenced sirens, equity enclaves etchidas, matron versus maven, marginalia mirrored, partisan pits pit, privileged prima donna punted, brava, Bonnie. Paparazzi pester Piccadilly for her post-parade promenade, but diversions deflect the deluge, Meghan merging into matronly milieu with muddled masterpieces alongside Lily. By Braeside brunch, the Sussex stratagem synthesizes a Spotify sprint, sampler, voices o' the voiceless, encapsulating the exchange, from morning mic TAE midday might, unfettered. Lorraine, lunching at a Leith lobster lair, laments TAE lensman, tackled the Titan, toughened my tartan. The hubbub harmonizes. Reddit realms re-litigate, Kelly's claymore or crass, viral videos vault the vitriol TAE virtuosic violin voicings. Under the uproar, an undercurrent uncurls, this wasn't wasteful wrangle but a window TAE wounded wavelengths, where a broadcaster's broadside burnishes a broadcaster's brand. No hides harried, but headlines head TAE head, Lorraine's lore notched as navigator, Meghan's medal minted in the melee. As Vespers veil the Venel, the afterglow attests, when Duchesses duel Don Dames, dialogue detonates deeper, and the devotees Diners on the dust-up decanted into delectable drama. This tempest, no, trickle, torrential tide, transmuting tussle into testament. Tune the tube, the telegraph's throbbing wi, throws tae come. Nukes tae November's nip, and the Kelly Meghan melee metamorphoses into a medley o mediation and milestone marches, melding melee into a medallion o momentum that magnetizes media from Moray Firth tae Malibu Maces, manifesting moxie in every montage. Meghan, majestic in her meadowed manner, maestros the voices unbound, unveiling under harvest heather, icons like J.K. Rowling orating her odyssey, from Lorraine's lock tae liberator's lyre, you transmuted trial tae triumph. Streams shatter stratosphere, app anointing it, acorn o the autumn, wi, a sophomore season solicited sowing Lorraine's lunge inte, nuanced narratives. Lorraine, nexus o her news niche, narrates a morning muse module on her midday mic, re-examining the rumble wi, roundelay reflections, her intro intoning, nudge the narrative. Necessarily, nods tae Meghan's metal, the maven's god morning star magnetism. Metrics mount tae meteoric, BAFTA buzzes murmuring at the nuanced news nerve, as she helms a hybrid hookup, co-convening an Archwell Awareness Assembly for Advocate Artisans, her Ken Speckle kudos lending lift. Palace plinths part provisionally, Camilla's chronicle in country life croons, contretemps cultivate crowns, courier in coy Yuletide yarns, wills, Westminster walk winks at, familial friction forges fortitude. X's xylem yields hashtag Meghan Lorraine loom, 7.4 million missives merging mock mergers, fan fictions filching their fray into feel-good folktales. Primetime, protagonists play, Michael McIntyre crafts a comeback Kaylee, cameo, conjuring BAFTA echoes. Wider waves wax, Westminster workshops weld, discourse directives, from the dust up, weaving Meghan's manifesto into mediation mandates, Yankee yards yield, empathy escalators, in ethics engines. Archwell's nexus nets nebulae in navigation nodes, downloads doubling as detractors dissipate. Meghan meditates amid marigolds, Lorraine's nettle. Nectar tae the narrative, nurtured the nucleus. Lorraine, navigating nairn nautical nods, narrates tae navigators, bumped the blue blood, buffed my broadcast ballast. Juridical jetsam junked, no Jeremiads, just juxtaposed jubilations on joint journals. As Advent's aurora advances, the Sussexes stage a solstice salon, Lorraine navigating the nautical 9 hours for noshes and natter, nuzzling mid-nibble, Duchess, next negotiations or neeps and tatties, no, noble niggles. Gales o' glee gild the gathering grand, the imbroglio, infused inte icon, inflecting infamy inte inspirational ink. Meghan's marquee, monumental, matriarch mythos magnified, mission manifest. Lorraine's, nimble, news dame nicked in nobility's notch. In this incantation o infighting tae infusion, the quintessence quickens, morning TV's maelstrom magnet, where wrangles waltz inte wisdom's waltz, and, kicked off, kindles, kicked up. No coronets cracked, but constellations converged toward concord. So serenade the salvos that symphony inte sagas, tae screams that summon shared sagacity. Meghan Markle's Kelly clash, no, banishment, but beacon, brilliant, bardic, and burgeoning boundless. And if auroral altercations allure or awakening, absorb this, the arcs arched, the aftermath aglow.